Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the IWC Portuguese hand-wound 8 days. This is a model that debuted back in 2014 in stainless steel. It's 43 millimeters in diameter, 12.6 millimeters thick, and 51.2 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a spacing of 22 millimeters between the lugs. So you can see this is a traditionally graceful Portugueser, but it has that feature common to all Portuguese models, which is that they are large for dress watches. The original, in 1939, was a dress watch designed to feature an outstandingly accurate pocket watch movement. So though designed expressly as a dress watch, it was also designed for big movement, thus creating the original purpose-built, oversized dress timepiece. And the Portuguese continues in that tradition. Because of the width across the wrist, I'd recommend this watch for a wrist no smaller than 15 centimeters circumference, and of course my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. It features an IWC factory strap in light brown, large rectangular scale, semi-gloss alligator leather. There is some bolstering to add thickness. There's a monotone stitch. There's a sheer cut side. You can see there's calfskin on the bottom. This is a brand new IWC factory strap. No markings whatsoever. We have an IWC deployant clasp. Deployant clasps give you more protection against dropping your watch when you're putting it on and taking it off. You can see externally it is satinated and polished. Internally it features satination and polish. Taking a quick look at the case band, you can see that it features an element that's characteristic of watches that are true vintage or inspired by vintage, and that's always a thin case band. The case band has a longitudinal satin, one feature of the original Portugueser, as with its design cousin, the Patek Philippe 96. Both of these watches were form follows function designs that grew out of 30s minimalist aesthetics. So we have lugs integrated into the case band because that is the most logical choice. We have a few styling flourishes externally as the lug hoods are polished, and then we have a polished mid case. We have a concave bezel profile designed to pair the visual mass. We have an IWC logo crown, as it's known. It's bearing the logo Probus Scafusia, a good solid watch made in Schaffhausen. It does have a sapphire crystal, but it's designed to reference antiquity with a dramatic domed profile to the sapphire. It looks a little bit like a vintage plexiglass. Other features that were minimalist and utilitarian on the original Portuguese are included a simple, easily read three-hand dial with leaf hands at center for the hours and minutes, a sub-seconds display, a railroad track for more easily reading the individual minutes, and then we have vertically oriented, minimally stylized Arabic numerals. You'll appreciate that this is a somewhat more modern take on the classic Portugueser. Unlike the original reference 325 of 1939, this one does feature a date display. And to that end, the watch has two subsidiary setting modes, one of which is hacking or stop seconds, as you can see here, and the other of which is a quick set system for the date, so you can rapidly cycle the date if you need to. The date window is integrated pretty seamlessly, replacing the numeral over at 3 o'clock, and there's a step from the plane of the dial. You can see how there's a step for the aperture, so it doesn't come across as a crude cut through the dial. On the reverse side, you can see a movement that is clearly adapted from the IWC 50,000 series automatic winders, but it's nicely executed and helps this watch to be thinner in profile. Again, 12.6 millimeters for a watch this large is not bad at all, and it will fit underneath the cuff. Some changes from the 50,000 series automatic. The auto has a 7-day power reserve. The manual wind adaptation you see here has an 8-day power reserve. It has a high beat rate of 28,800 vibrations per hour. For durability, it's free sprung, and you can see it is adjusted to 5 positions like a chronometer. It also includes an overcoil hairspring, so regardless of its position on your wrist or your dresser at night, because the hairspring's mass is centered, it's not going to gallop forward and gain time or slow down and lose time. The 30-joule movement features a case-back power reserve indicator that keeps the dial clean, and you can see it is an enormous movement, over 37 millimeters in diameter. So as with that original original IWC pocket watch caliber in the 1939 Portugueser. Here we have a movement that is properly sized to the case. Both are quite large, so there's no disparity between the two. We have a single large mainspring barrel, and you saw earlier the quick set and the hacking seconds functions. The finish is neat and very handsome, though admittedly mechanically applied, but that is standard for this price point. The watch has 30 meters of water resistance, so splash and occasional rain only. Do not take this one swimming. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.